Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on March 10th, 2023, man. We're trying to make some money on a Friday. If you're looking for more of this great content, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. If you're looking for my best bets, the ones that I'm placing tonight, and best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com. Click that premium picks tab. If you're looking for my $15 NBA Jam session play, my best bet in the NBA every night, man, just click that link in the description. Takes you right to my handicapper page, and that's where you can find all my long-term packages: 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. All my bets for today's action. College hoops, man. In the middle of March Madness, some of the greatest times to be alive, man. I have my college hoops plays up there. NBA, of course. Hockey, if I'm active. You can find all that over at pickdawgz.com, man. Including my $15 NBA Jam session play, which we did drop last night with the Golden State Warriors as they continue to be terrible out on the road, man. I thought they were due for some positive regression. Thought yesterday was going to be a nice spot for them to kind of return to the means, get themselves right on the road, getting ready to make a playoff push. Didn't happen. The Grizzlies hammered them. Happens, man. They continue to be the worst road team in the NBA. Hey, we bounced back on it today, though, man. I love today's $15 NBA Jam session play. We've hit 8 of 13. We go for 9 of 14. Scoop it up. It's only 15 bucks, man. Let's make some money tonight on a Friday. My live show, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Check me out, man. There's a lot of injuries that we're going to need to be updated on, so tune in live as I do go over the card one more time with the guests, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Let's make some money tonight, man, and without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Portland Trail Blazers. They're out on the road facing the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly laying 8.5, total 231.5. Sixers red hot, man. They've won 4 of their last 5, playing some great basketball, man. Their last 5 were out on the road. We tried to fade them in their last one and got burnt. Took the house of disappointment, man, and they hammered them 117-94 out on the road. It was a terrible spot, in my opinion, though, for the Sixers. Would I probably bet it again? I would. This is a bad spot for them, man. It was their 5th road game in their last 5 games. They were on a road back-to-back, had to travel from Indiana to Minnesota. Minnesota had won, 3 straight? I thought it was a good spot for Minnesota to keep it rolling. Philly could be a flat spot. Didn't happen, man. They hammered those guys 117-94. But this spot could also be a flat spot, man. That first home game back off of a long road trip, man. They just played 5 straight games out on the road. Could be flat tonight, man. The Blazers, it's a bad spot for them. It's their 5th straight road game. But the Blazers, man, they are on the outside looking in. The Sixers are pretty much where they're going to be when it's all said and done. I mean, they could move like a few spots, but they're in. The Blazers, they're not. I think we see a concerted effort from them tonight, man. I do lean Blazers plus the 8.5. Not my favorite game on the board tonight, but I do think the Blazers keep this one competitive tonight, man. The Sixers did hammer them the first time, 105-95, in Portland on the 19th of January. And the Blazers have been playing bad basketball, man. They just got took behind the shed by the Celtics, 115-93 out on the road, man. We had the Celtics in that one. I think that game was more so due to the Celtics than to do with the Blazers. The Celtics, one of the top 3 teams in the NBA, needed a bounce-back game. And at home, they just took that frustration out on the Blazers. That's just what happened in that one. Let's not confuse ourselves. I tried to tell y'all, the Celtics are one of those teams, man. They went to the finals last year. They're a really great basketball team, and they just beat up on the Blazers at home. Tonight, though, the Blazers, off of such an embarrassing loss, they're still on the road facing another really good home team, but they're getting back healthy, as I'm seeing. Simons has a game-time decision. Nurk could play tonight. I do think Nurk does play tonight. Matter of fact, I'm seeing the Blazers start to get a little healthy, man. I think they do keep this one competitive, man. I'm leaning on the Blazers. Lillard, I think he has another great game. I think the Blazers can keep this one competitive with their season on the line. I'm not sure if they pull the upset, man. The Sixers are still a really great home team. But I do think the Sixers maybe kind of go through the motions, fail to cover the spread, and the Blazers keep this game competitive. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got a really good game, man. We got the Hawks on the road facing the Wizards. Hawks laying 1.5, total 238. We just saw this one the other day with the Hawks winning it in Washington by 2 points, 122-120. They're laying 1.5, so basically the same thing. It's a tough one. I'm probably going to take a step back, not bet this game. It's a 50-50 type game. It could go either way. I could make the argument for either team, but I will make the argument for the Hawks, as I do think they are just the better team. Again, I don't really want to bet this game, y'all. I don't. I think it's a tough one. I think the line's right where it should be. We just saw the Hawks do it by 2 points. The Wizards are at home, though, working with revenge. Quick revenge. But it's a home. And, I like the team that did it in the first one to do it again in the second one. I think the Hawks mess around and do it again. It's a tough one, man. I'm probably just going to stay away. 50-50 type game. It's going to come down to the very end, probably like the last one did. I don't want to sweat it. I don't. Quite honestly, I don't. Lean Hawks, though. I think they're the better team. I do. They're currently in the 8th seed. Both teams really need this game, man. The Wizards are in the 10th seed. Hawks in the 8th. Trying to keep pace in a tight Eastern Conference as well. Fighting for playoff seeding. I lean Hawks, though, man. But me personally, I'm probably going to stay away. Super, super tight game. Yeah. Super tight game. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers out on the road facing the Miami Heat, man. Cleveland laying 1.5, total 214.5. I told y'all the other day what we were doing in this spot. If you follow me on this jam session for any duration of time, you know what we're doing in this spot. It's really quite simple for me, man. I'm not going to overcomplicate this one, man. Cleveland, let's get it done tonight. Lay the 1.5. Cleveland, the better team, playing the better basketball. They get this one done. They just beat them the other day. I know Miami could. A lot of people might be using a revenge angle, but me, I'm not. Home and home situation. We've seen the team that did it in the first one typically do it again in the second one. I need to pull that number up, but I do think it's probably like 55%, maybe. I do. I really do. Early in the season, it was like automatic. Here recently, it hasn't been, but I do think Cleveland wins this basketball game, man. All said, we have faded Miami at home all year. We're not stopping now, man. It's just some things that are just is what it is. Miami at home, terrible ATS. The Golden State Warriors out on the road, terrible. The Dallas Mavericks ATS, terrible. It just is what it is, man. These been the spots that we've known about all season, man. We got to continue to attack it. Cleveland, again, playing the better basketball, the better team. They just beat them the other day. Came back and got them, if I'm remembering correctly. I like the Cavs. I'm laying the 1.5 here in this one. Continuing to fade the number one team on my do not bet list. Continuing to fade the worst home team in the NBA. The worst home cover team in the NBA. The worst cover team in the NBA. The worst ATS team in the NBA. The Miami Heat, man. Cleveland, let's get it done, man. Lay the 1.5 here in this. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Brooklyn Nets out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the nickname that I gave them, the House of Disappointment, man. They're laying 5, though. In total, it is 229.5. And if I'm being honest, I do lean the House of Disappointment, laying the 5, man. I know they got ran over in their last one by the Sixers. We were on them in that one, man. I thought it was a great spot for them. It was a terrible spot for the Sixers, and in typical Minnesota Timberwolves fashion, they let us down. They disappointed us, a.k.a. their nickname, the House of Disappointment. And I'm going to also say, when it comes to this team, man, they are one of the hardest teams for me to handicap. I just cannot get a grasp on this team. When I think it's a good spot for them to win games, they lose outright. When it's time for them to lose a game, they show up big and mess around and win it outright. So, I don't know, man. This Minnesota Timberwolves team is a hard team to figure out. But it should be a bounce-back spot for them tonight on their home floor. The Nets, I don't like the spot for them on a back-to-back. They have to travel. They were in Milwaukee last night. Now they go to Minnesota. This is going to be their 5th road game in their last 6 games. Not a great spot for the Nets here in this one. They sat some guys yesterday. They covered yesterday against Milwaukee, but it wasn't pretty. I didn't like the rotations I seen from Coach Vaughn in that game. A couple of my friends are really upset as they had some props for the guys that started the game, and then they didn't play the rest of the game. It was one of those yesterday. Yesterday was a weird day in the NBA, but I do lean the House of Disappointment, the Minnesota Timberwolves in this basketball game. They're still in the thick of things in the Western Conference right now, man. 1 game above 500. They have everything to play for. I think they probably come out with some intensity tonight. We look at it. The Timberwolves, they are currently in the 7th seed, but, 4 through 12 is separated by 3 games. So not much room to mess around. I think the Timberwolves come out with some emphasis off the blowout loss on their home floor tonight. I do lean the house of disappointment, believe it or not. Again. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Denver Nuggets out on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. Denver laying 12.5, total 236.5. And the lean, of course, is the Nuggets. I have a blindfold up like this to the San Antonio Spurs. I will not bet the San Antonio Spurs for the rest of the season. I don't even look in their direction. That's what I mean when I see this. So here's the Nuggets over here, the Spurs over here. I'm not even going to turn and look that way. Nuggets or nothing for me here in this one. I don't even love the Nuggets. I'm going to be 1,000. They got the 1 seed pretty much locked up. So do they necessarily come out here on a Friday night and try to blow out the San Antonio Spurs? I don't think so. Could they do it with their eyes closed, though? I definitely think so. The San Antonio Spurs are awful. They just lost to the Houston Rockets, 142 to 110. The Houston Rockets, 142 to 110. This team is in full-blown tank mode, blindfold up to the San Antonio Spurs. I don't even want to talk them. I'm not finna even try to tell y'all. Maybe the Spurs can keep this one. No. We've already seen the Nuggets hammer bad teams. Hell, they just hammered the Houston Rockets, 133, 112. I know they're out on the road where they're not the same juggernaut, but like I just brought up that game because that was their only road game in their last 5 games against a bad team like the Spurs, and they hammered them. The same team that just hammered the San Antonio Spurs. No, sir. When we look at it, the Spurs, they did win 2 games in their last 5 against the Jazz and the Pacers, 110-99 and 102-94. But their 3 losses in this span were by 32 points, 12 points, and 16 points to the Houston Rockets twice and the Utah Jazz, 2 teams that are tanking. I want nothing to do with the San Antonio Spurs. They did keep it competitive with the Nuggets in the last one, man. 115-109. The Nuggets hammered them the first time, 126-101. Blindfold up to the Spurs. Lean Nuggets. Not in love with it, but they could get it done with their eyes closed, though. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Los Angeles Lakers. Toronto now favored 1.5, total 224.5. This line's kind of moving around right now. Be careful with this one. Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell are game time decisions. So, what it's worth, man, be careful. I do lean Lakers on the money line in this basketball game, but I need Anthony Davis to play. D'Angelo Russell, I'll be okay if he doesn't play or if he does play, but Anthony Davis must play in this one. It's a bad spot for the Raptors. Their 5th road game in a row. They have not been playing great basketball out here on this road trip, and I don't bet the Raptors on the road. I just don't do it. So I lean Lakers in this one. I need Anthony Davis to play, though. The Lakers, they moving up this, they moving up the list, the standings. They are. They've been playing some really good basketball, man. I need them to continue doing it, though. I lean Lakers on the money line. I want to see this injury report, though, so check me out, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. As I come back on, I go live. We run it through one more time. Hopefully we have some more news by then if he's in or not. It says game time decision, so maybe not, but we'll talk about it a little more in depth there. I lean Lakers in this one. Terrible spot for the Raptors. Raptors could come out, though, on this last spot, try to turn up. They need this game just as much as the Lakers do. But I want to see if Anthony Davis plays. If Anthony Davis plays, I'm leaning Lakers on the money line at home. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on March 10th, 2023, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. My best bets can be found over at Pickdawgz Premium. Just click that link in the description. Takes you right to my Handicapper page. That's where you can find my long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30, monthly, yearly, seasonal. You can also find all my bets for today's action. College hoops. We're in the middle of March, man. Greatest time to be alive. For sure active in college hoops. NBA and hockey, if I'm active, man, can all be found in that link in the description, my Handicapper page, man. My $15 NBA Jam Session play can be found there as well. We dropped it last night with the Warriors. I don't know what I was thinking, taking the Warriors on the road. Thought they were going to maybe have some positive regression, return back to the means a little bit. Didn't happen. The Grizzlies put it to them even without John Morant. Grizzlies trying to keep pace, trying to get that second spot back from the Kings. We'll see if they can do it, man. The Warriors continue to be terrible on the road. That's on me. Bounce back day today, though, in the NBA, man. I love today's $15 NBA Jam Session play. You can scoop it up. Pickdawgz Premium. We've hit 8 of our last 13. We go for 9 of 14 tonight, man. Scoop it up over there. Check out my live show, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be live. Should have a guest as we run through the card one more time on a Friday. Let's make some money. Let's smash it per usual. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'll see y'all later on today, and I'm out. Peace.